I think I was like everybody else, it's just the unknown. As soon as COVID hit, I immediately thought to the ride and the possibility of doing it or not. And honestly, my initial gut was, I don't think we'll be able to do it. It was super disappointing because the ride has become a highlight for us as organizers. There's a special feeling about bringing people together and accomplishing a pretty serious physical achievement, and at the same time raise super important funds for a very important cause.
Ride to the Lake is one of our most successful events in any year. To think that we maybe were not going to be able to do it was pretty worrisome.
There's not many examples of live events that have happened. So we took a bit of a risk by putting on the event. It was a difficult decision to do the ride, and it was difficult to just navigate all of the changes as we learned about them.
We had a game plan to stay within the Manitoba border, which was, probably up until, I would say, maybe 3 weeks before the ride, that was the plan. But then the rules changed, which allowed us safely to go into Ontario.
Pat called me and he said, listen, I'm going to cut to the chase. We're going to Kenora. So I went, all right, here we go.
Everybody's kind of got that nervous energy because you're pumping up your bike and you're getting your helmet on and you know what's coming, and everybody's talking about the weather, what's the wind like.
It's a real social activity, and you wouldn't think of it when you're thinking of cycling. You think of it more of a solitary activity, but it's not. When you cycle in a group, it's a lot of fun. That sense of community and the social aspect of cycling brings people together. Cyclists are very tough. Physically tough and they're mentally tough. It's a very, very difficult activity, especially if you're going long distances. So I think in cycling there's a lot of mutual respect that goes on for people because there's risks. And if you've cycled long enough, the risk is you can get seriously hurt. When you layered in the conditions this year, they were, if not the toughest, right up there. So we had 30-degree heat and full humidity. It took its toll on most of the riders. Some pretty severe example of heat exhaustion, severe cramping. We had some people, unfortunately, that didn't finish the ride this year because of the extreme conditions.
Probably the first 15, 20 minutes, it takes that long to start to settle in with your ride and your group, and you got this nervous energy and you gotta slow down. I knew I was in trouble because my heart rate monitor was telling me I was in trouble. By the time you realize that, the damage is done. We probably started the first 4 hours or so a little more aggressive. You're out there for whatever it was, 8.5 hours of riding. The combination of the time on the bike and the duration of these cramps would settle in for quite a while. So early on, cramps start creeping up on you, and you're able to get rid of them by standing up and stretching a bit. One of the brakes was stopped, and I kind of went in full-on convulsing. Your legs are in full spasm, so you kind of slip into a silent mode.
One of our regular riders, who's quite experienced, described the pain of her cramping as akin, maybe just second, to childbirth. And it just goes to show that everybody and anybody was susceptible to that this year because of the extreme conditions.
Struggling, this is, I'm done with this, and I got another 2 hours before the next stop, and I'm over this. And then someone just comes along and says something to you or checks in on you, and you're back. There's no way you would have pushed yourself on a hot, humid day like that if you were by yourself. When you're in that setting with that group and your people trying to pull you along, you just kind of got to finish.
The thing that is becoming loud and clear, every country, every person, every community has to do their part. We as Ducks Unlimited Canada still have to do our good work. We protect the environment, so it's super important.
You can think about wetlands with their value for biodiversity, for wildlife, certainly, all kinds of different shorebirds and mammals and amphibians. But wetlands also are really important for water quality, for flood retention, and for climate mitigation. That's why conserving wetlands and restoring wetlands is so important. We have projects all the way from BC coast to Nova Scotia to projects up in the boreal forest in the Yukon and Northwest Territories. We have 6.5 million acres. 6.5 million acres right across Canada.
The money we raise is significant, and that's making a big impact.
In spite of everything, we're super proud of our accomplishment and setting a new record for funds raised from the event, being able to raise $160,000.
I would love to see a major Ride of the Lake event happening in every province and territory in Canada.
I hope to see more of them. I really hope to see more of them, because this could really be the start of something much bigger.